But I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount.
I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Eat shit. Eat shit. Eat shit.
Smug smile.
Definitely eat shit.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
You can't handle the truth.
Welcome to Christmas time. Well, that's what I'm assuming. Who knows what actually happened with this footage? We're pre-recording this. We're taking our time off for Your List Sucks, and we're going to have a blast doing it. We're walking through top 100s. Hopefully the one in the summer was really good. So this one's even better. I have some great people, and then not so great people.
Oh.
I'll let you guys determine who. So it's basically this side great, this side yikes. Okay. Basically, it works the way the summer one did. We're going to have a top 100. Everybody brought their top 100. We're going to go week by week, breaking down their 10 apiece. If somebody has one of theirs in a higher spot, they will yikes it for eternity almost. We could be 6 episodes deep till we talk about that movie again. If somebody had better taste or worse taste, we'll find out. I kind of picked a perfect panel to blend, to have a lot of different choices. I have Andrew Barr. You normally do fine in Your List Sucks or suck at Your List Sucks, either way. How do you feel with top 100?
I feel comfortable with this one, actually. Mainly because I feel that I have a very eclectic list. I feel like I have a list that covers many different genres, many different eras, films that people probably love, and then films that I feel like people are going to be like, all right. So I'm pretty comfortable with my list.
Next, Mike Hanley. You've done this before, just in a different universe that no one ever saw.
The dark universe, as we like to call it.
Do you feel like you'll have this is your first time on Your List Sucks, technically, but do you feel like you'll have the best top 100 list out there?
No fucking way. Great fucking movies, but no one ain't gonna fucking like them. So let's go.
I hope you give more review for your movie than your Letterboxd reviews. But you know what? I won't. I won't judge you on that alone. Next, we have Cameron Holtzman. Some would say putting you and Barr on the same list is just an asking for musicals to make the top 100. But I think you guys are different enough to make this an interesting list. Do you feel like you'll have the best list or the worst list?
So to me, I have the best list because they're my favorite movies. To Cody, hell no.
That's fair.
Cody and me do not align in movie taste whatsoever. Well, we do kind of, but there's going to be a lot of things where Cody goes, yeah, it's because you're a child. That makes sense. And I'm prepared to deal with that fact.
Cool.
And next, another person that was in that dark universe that never got to see the light of day. That is probably the most vocal about them never seeing the light of day because the amount of hours that you put into it.
14 freaking hours!
I promise these will see the light of day.
Release them their top 100.
If they are at least, they could be earlier released or they could be at the scheduled time, but they will be released. Nazario, do you think you'll have the best list or the worst list?
Well, I have a streak going in this show where I always have the worst list, according to you. But I already don't expect many things to line up. I mean, I'm older, and yet I love children's stuff. So it's kind of a weird mix there that I don't think a lot of people will relate that much with, but they should. They should listen. They should watch. By the way, small commercial. I have a preview of what Mike puts in his top 100, and beautiful.
So how the show works is everybody brought in their top 100. We're working our bottom 100 to 91. So how the show's going to work is same format as normal. We're going to start at 3, then we're going to do the middle half, then we'll trade the pieces. They're not going to talk super long just because how it's going to work, being so short on the list. So first up, Barr.
Okay. So my number 100. Cody's going to hate the fact that it's at number 100 and not higher, is My Cousin Vinny.
Yikes to a later episode.
Okay, to a later episode we go then.
There's 100 movies. It's hard to immediately know what I'm yikesing.
My number 99 is Baru, Little Shop of Horrors.
Yikes! To a later episode.
Yikes.
Perfect. And here's a choice that I don't think many people are going to guess that I would put on my list. My number 98 is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Okay, cool. I grew up with this movie. When I was in middle school, I would watch this movie all the time until, oddly enough, one day my mom told me my dog ate my VHS copy of this. Irony. But as Jim Carrey's performance in this movie is absolutely the high selling point of this movie. It is what you go to this movie for. He is killing it. I think that this is Jim Carrey's one of his best comedic performances. I laugh my ass off because of how he just throws himself into these jokes. And it's also a really interesting story. Dan Marino does a good job. Courtney Cox does a really good job. Yeah, I think this movie's really funny.
Yeah, it's 98, so I'm gonna save the shotgun. This is just gonna be like a BB round. This movie sucks. This movie is
great.
This movie sucks.
Starting off strong.
This is one of the ones that people are like, Jim Carrey, so funny. No, nope, don't care about it at all. Is this the one with the football scene?
Yes. Laces
best part of the whole movie. Just watch the YouTube clip of it, and then you'll be good. You'll save yourself about an hour and like 30 minutes. Dan Marino's good. What a weird statement to start at 98, but whatever. We're on. Mike, give us your 100, 99, and 98, and then we'll talk.
Hey. Top number 100 is Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Now,
99?
99 is Bubba.
Yeah, you do it all three, and then we'll skip.
Oh, okay. Bubba Hotep for my 99. Then my 98, Throw Mama from the Train.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now,
walk us through this lovely picks.
Friday the 13th final chapter, definitely my favorite Friday movie. I love Corey Feldman. I was Corey Feldman as a little kid, with the exception of making monster masks. I love horror movies. I looked at Corey Feldman as myself. He's scared of Jason, but by the end, he's ready to kick the shit out of him. You got Crispin Glover with the greatest dance ever in a movie. No one could ever beat that dance. And then you have some great jump scares, including the one where Jason flies through a glass and grabs Corey Feldman, which he had no idea was coming. I just love the hell out of it. It's a great fucking movie.
We knew it was coming, folks.
They're all 5 stars for me. All right, give us 99.
99 Bubba Hotep. Eat the dog dick of Anubis, you asswipe. That's all I need to say about the movie. It's an amazing fucking movie. You got Bruce Campbell as Elvis. Could be an Elvis impersonator, but he thinks he's Elvis. And you got Ossie Davis as Black JFK in an old folks' home going against a mummy. You can't get any better than that. It's just an amazing fucking wild ride. It's a great fucking movie.
I'm so happy right now.
Get ready to hear that phrase 98 more times.
Yes, you will.
Hell yeah!
You got Throw Mama from the Train. My favorite edition of Strangers on a Train. I love Billy Crystal. I love Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is amazing in this movie. He's such a sweet guy, even though he wants to have Billy Crystal kill his mom. He's an idiot, but he is so sweet. The reason, she treats him like shit the entire movie, but you can tell she does love him. And he grows to love her after pretending to, he wants to fucking kill her the entire movie. Billy Crystal is amazing going back and forth with Danny DeVito. There's specific scenes in here that I'm not going to give away, because if you haven't seen it, please watch it. It is such a great fucking movie.
Like I've said many times, when you click on Mike's reviews and think, oh, what's he going to say about that? It's the same. It's the same every time, and I fall for it every time. The stars should tell me. I still don't care. I still click it. So Friday the 13th, I've probably seen this one. I'm going to be honest with you. Between ages 9 and 12, I watched all of these. thinking like I just always would watch them, and like apparently I thought I was a horror kid, and then I turned 13 and became a pussy, and I just stopped watching them. So I was fine at one point, terrified now. So I've probably seen it. I don't know which one, but how you're describing it, I remember it, but I don't know if I liked it or would like it now. 99, I think you've just made up a movie. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard of this movie. I looked it up, and it does exist, apparently. It's actually highly rated, too. So it's impressive. You basically could have just sold it. You sold me on the movie. I have to watch this now. I don't know if I'll like it, but way to bring something original to your top 100. And then 98, Throw Mama from the Train. I remember looking over your top 100 and thinking, Mike, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Like, it's still funny, and you have two great character actors working in it. So I'll give you a pass at 98. That's fine. Next, we got Cam. Cam, what is your 199.98?
My 100. Yeah, my 100. I have a feeling is going to get yikes. My 100 is My Fair Lady.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah, like I said, I'd bet money that Barr's going to yikes my number 100.
He just stumbled. You threw him off.
No, I was saying whatever.
My number 99 is Warrior.
Yikes.
All right. And my number 98 is Heathers.
Okay.
All right.
Talk about
that one. Yeah, Heathers is like if Mean Girls or Clueless was like a dark comedy 80s movie full of murder, and it's a real fun time. It's just really charming and really weird and dark in an interesting way. Winona Ryder is great. Over the course of this list, you're going to come to find that I do enjoy Winona Ryder movies quite a bit. I like Winona Ryder. Deal with it. Like, it's just fun. I think it's got a great, really twisted sense of humor. And it has a really good, like, biting commentary on, like, teen society that still works today. As much as the methodology of the people going against the popularity is not great, the sentiment kind of still holds up today, and it was also adapted into a fantastic stage musical. Heathers. It's great.
I knew there would be a tie back. This is another one I have not seen in my lifetime. I've heard everything about Heathers. I probably could answer even trivia questions about Heathers, but have I seen it? No. It's been asked about numerous times, but I haven't seen it. So, good choice. I'll probably check it out. You didn't sell me too well on it, but like, I guess that's the point of Heathers. It's like, it's murder, it's this, but it's fun.
Two teens murder the popular kids because the popular kids suck. It's my.
Okay,
it's every bullied kid's fantasy.
The musical better.
Well, yeah, true, but.
All right, so we have Nazario. Your 199.98.
I like kid things. But when I was a kid, kids were not pussies like now. Like, they cannot get a little bit scared because everything has to be sanitized to the point of what you get is Arctic dogs. Thanks, Chancellor. So my 100 movie is based on a Roald Dahl book. It's 1990s The Witches.
Witches, okay. What's your 99?
My 99 is another kids movie where wild things are.
Okay.
And my 98 is not a kids movie. It's Let Me In.
Okay.
No yikes. Perfect. Roald Dahl's books are great fodder for movies because they are for children, but they're really twisted and they're really scary, and good directors know how to take advantage of that. And The Witches is a very creepy story where Angelica Houston gets to play a mean-ass witch. Basically, witches hate children, and the Grand Supreme Witch discovers this formula that can turn kids into mouses. Because they hate children so much, they rather have mice, and they can step on mice and kill all the children in the world. one kid discovers this by accident, so they turn him into a mice to test the formula. And then you see the whole movie from the kid's point of view, trying to defeat the witches as a mouse. It's great. If somebody has heard of this, it's getting remade by Robert Zemeckis with Anne Hathaway as the Grand Witch. And I think it was supposed to be released in 2020, but now nobody really knows. I really recommend watching the original. It's scary. I think it was made by British people, but it's really good. It's scary, and if you have a kid who is not very still scared, watch it with him. He'll enjoy it. Okay. 99 is Where the Wild Things Are. Where the Wild Things Are is a lovely book written by Maurice Sendak. It only has 22 lines in the whole book, 22 phrases. And somehow, Spike Lee managed to make a whole movie out of it. Spike Jonze, sorry, not Spike Lee. Spike Jonze, which is a brilliant director, and he grabs the material as little as it is, mostly with the illustrations, and expands it into a 90-minute film that is very engaging. It has songs by Arcade Fire that are amazing, and the whole story of Max dressing his wolf costume, just running off because he doesn't like what his mom is dating Mark Ruffalo now, and he just wants to be a wild thing, and then he just becomes the king of the wild things. It's really sweet. It's a little scary, like I said, but kids will enjoy it. It's great. And 98 is Matt Reeves' remake of Let the Right One In, which is I think Swedish. The original movie, I think, is a Swedish film of the story of a little girl who just turns out to be a vampire, and this little boy who befriends her and basically ends up being her life mate. And it's kind of cute because it is two little, you think it's two little people, but the girl is like an ancient vampire. So it's kind of weird in that way, but also very good. And the remake by Matt Reeves, I actually think is superior to the original in my personal taste. I think he went a little deeper with some of the darker parts of the movie. And Chloe Grace Moretz is just amazing in the movie. It's great. I love all this.
Okay, so witches. That's the thing with nightmares.
The Grand High Witch Supreme.
Yeah,
it's a kids movie.
My sister loved that movie. That movie was the reason I may have pooped my pants when I was 4. I'm not for sure, but possibly. That movie, no. Do not watch it. Do not even share it to kids. Wait till 2020 or 21. Let the new one come out. Let that other one reside in a drawer somewhere. Hide it. Terrifying as a kid. I will never revisit it, I don't think. 99, Where the Wild Things Are. Okay. Not much to say about it. I'm not in love with the movie, but I don't hate the movie. So no big issues with that one. And then your 98, you said, I think the original is Swedish. I have no idea. I've never seen it. I'll take your word for it. Good job. So we're going to start back now. Everybody gets to say some stuff again. I'm going to keep you guys on a pretty tight leash to say, like, a lot of comments. Again, we're at the bottom. So, Barr, you're going to start through 7 through 4 in the words of,
Yep.
So go ahead and start.
Oh boy, I'm going to start off strong in Cody's eyes with this one. It is the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yikes. Yikes for a while.
Nice. Great. I don't care, Cody. You don't get to shit on me right now.
I'm about to shit on the other person because that's way too high. Okay.
My next pick, my number 96 pick, is one of my favorite 90s movies. It is Boys in the Hood. Okay. Boys in the Hood. A great coming-of-age tale told by the late, great John Singleton, with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Ice Cube. Ice Cube giving one of my favorite performances of the 90s, to be completely honest with you, as Doughboy. It's just a really well-told story. You really connect with all of these characters, especially Lawrence Fishburne as the dad. I think it's Furious Styles. It's just a great piece that you can tell that everyone was passionate about. There's one death scene in this movie which is it's really heartbreaking because they build up the one character so well instead of him just being a character that's there and you're like, oh, well, that character's gonna die. It's just a really strong drama, and you feel for all of these characters. Boys in the Hood, my number 96.
Quality movie. I like this movie a lot. I've seen it a bunch of times. I think it's really good. Probably the range I would have it if I did top 100, it'd be at the bottom half. It may not make the list fully, but I don't hate the choice at all. I think it's really good. Mike, Cam, Nazario, didn't have it on your list. Not a fan of it, or just don't think it's top 100 material in your guys' eyes?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Whew. I'm blown away. I thought that would never utter when we're talking about Barr movies. That's fine. Okay?
Wait a minute.
Sorry. Mike, Cam?
I think it's a great fucking movie. You know, not in my top 100.
We're going to hear it 400 times. I love it. Okay? Well, maybe. You might hate a movie. I can't wait.
You know, I think it's a really good movie. I just don't love it. So, yeah.
Totally fair. Okay. What's your 95?
My number 95 is one of my favorite biopics. It is I, Tonya. Okay. I, Tonya follows the story of Tonya Harding, disgraced figure skater. And it kind of follows her, like, her start as a child up to the incident, as it is referred to throughout the film. Margot Robbie gives a hell of a performance. If it wasn't for one other performance that year, I think that she would have just walked away with the Oscar, because she is phenomenal. And I really like the way that this story is told. It's sort of like a combination of, like, interviews and, like, your typical, like, you're following the story as it happens. Because you see interviews with Margot Robbie, Sebastian Stan, and Allison Janney's characters. It's just a really fascinating character study, seeing the mindset of this one person and seeing her world develop and crumble at the same time. I think that it's just a really smart, really well-told story with a really great, underrated score. And the incident scene itself is really, really interesting. And you really, like, start to feel... it's almost thrilling, in a sense. So, yeah, I, Tonya. And Cody's gone. All right, so let me talk more about Margot Robbie. She is one of those actresses that I think you will see a lot more of in the future. She's got promise. She's got potential.
This is the most man movie you could have brought up to this list. I think it's fine. Like, I think this is two great performances in an mediocre movie. Like, I think Allison Janney and Margot Robbie. I think those two are great. The rest of it, I was just like, meh. And I've heard the... I guess being a sports fan, I've heard the story for so long about her whacking the girl in the knee and the scream, mine! Ow! I don't care.
Why?
Yeah, I don't care. Don't care. Physically don't care. And I know that may make me heartless, but I think the movie is fine. I'm surprised it grabbed you. Now, if you've seen 100 films, makes sense it made your list. But if you've seen above it, I can't wait to see what missed. Everybody else on I, Tonya.
I actually think Paul Walter Hauser is the best performance in the movie.
I think you mean Doug Cassel.
Other than that, I liked it better when it was called The Price of Gold and made by ESPN.
Fair.
Anybody else?
It was a good fucking movie. You know, I enjoyed it.
Not a great one, but a good one.
You know how bad that makes that movie? Pretty bad in his eyes.
You know, I don't love this movie. I saw it once. I think it's good. I think there's a few good performances. I think there's a better female-led biopic from 2017 that I realized I forgot to put on my list, and now I'm sad. So, oops. I'm talking about Molly's Game.
Oh yeah.
Fair. Okay, what's your 94?
My 94. Oh boy, we're gonna be on brand for this one. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy. Yankee Doodle.
Hey, Barr, you ever feel like Eliza Doolittle?
Only when I'm singing H-A-R-R-I. You guys will probably find out later, maybe. But okay, Yankee Doodle Dandy. It is a biopic about George M. Cohan. He was a singer, dancer, songwriter, playwright, all of that. This is a movie that is built upon the performance of James Cagney. This movie should not work. This movie should not work at all because George M. Cohan was kind of like had his fingers in it the entire time, and it should have come across as a movie that's just congratulating itself and patting itself on the back and giving itself a hand job. But
good for him.
But we're 94 in and we're already there. Oh gosh.
But it turns out really well because James Cagney gives one of the greatest performances in movie history with this. He is so believable. And the dancing that he does, oh my god, like I found out that he was a trained dancer after I saw this movie because it is some of the most impressive dancing I've ever seen put to film. The direction and the cinematography is great. It is a beautiful movie to look at. And once again, it's a movie that shouldn't work, but because of the performance of James Cagney, it is such a great movie to watch. And I highly, highly recommend that anyone who likes biopics or likes just the theater in general, I highly recommend you watch this movie.
Sure. It's right up there with The Third Man. I'm probably not going to watch it.
We can talk about that later.
You talk about it, so cool. Anybody else see Yankee Doodle Dandy?
He said this movie gave itself a hand job, so for a moment there I thought he was talking about Space Jam. But since he isn't, I haven't seen it.
I have so many questions, and I want none of them answered. That being said, I have not seen this movie. I've talked about how I haven't seen this movie on another show. Don't watch that. It's painful.
I don't know.
And I haven't seen it since high school, so I don't really have much I can say on it.
At least watch one of James Cagney's dancing performances in this movie. Just watch one of those if you're not going to watch
James Cagney.
Probably not. Okay. All right. So we're off on. We're done. So Mike, 97.
Here comes the shit. My first Spielberg, which is definitely not going to be the last, but number 97 is Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. The shit begins. I love the hell out of this movie. You know why I love it? Because it has Tom Cruise as the dad that decides, fuck it. And when an alien invasion happens, I want to take my kids to my ex's house. I don't want to fucking deal with them. And I love the hell out of it. It's fucking amazing. I love the relationship between him and his son especially, because not only does his son totally miss a baseball to break a window, but he steals his fucking car in the beginning of the movie. Then his son takes off, and Tom Cruise, he looks to go after him, but he needs to go after his daughter, and he goes, fuck it. Once I grab my daughter, I ain't gonna go after him. He can go off on his own. It's fine. I love it. I'm all for it. Tim Robbins, the scene with Tim Robbins especially, I love the hell out of it. I think it's one of the great, what would you call it? Great cameo appearances by Tim Robbins especially. That and Tenacious D. I love both of his appearances in both those movies. It has great visuals, especially great cinematography. It's a great fucking movie.
So I think everybody has those films that before you join this community that you're like, that's not a bad movie. This is a great movie. Like, who doesn't like this movie? And this is one of them. I like this movie a lot. I think I've seen this movie more times than some Spielberg that I actually think are better. I just find it very entertaining. I find it stupid, but it's a lot of fun. So I don't hate the choice at all. 97 is a perfect place for War of the Worlds. If you had it at 2, we'd have a whole different conversation. But 97, you get a pass. So why do you guys hate Spielberg and Cruise together? Because I can't figure out why.
Because it's a combination that never works and should never work, and I just haven't seen this movie.
Oh, okay.
I also have not seen this movie.
Holy
Okay.
I have seen this movie. That's why it's not on my list.
Ooh. So here's the thing, like, I've heard it's really bad, but Mike pitching any movie kind of makes me want to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want to judge Mike, but then he gives his reasoning, I'm like, it kind of makes some sense.
You want to see a dad that says, hey, alien invasion? Okay, X, you're going to take him. I'm done. Sign me up.
We need to get Mike into the marketing department of, like, Paramount or one of those studios.
This movie. Well, why is it great fucking movie? Okay, well, 5 stars. We're going to give it the Oscar. Okay. 90, yeah. Learn to use your mic, Cam.
I'm trying.
All right, 96.
Okay, 96, I have 7.
Nope.
What happened?
96, you have 96. The list that I is different from that. So,
What?
Hold on one second.
great start.
You have
Cam,
Hatchet.
Cam, you're on the wrong mic, by the way.
Am I?
You're on the wrong mic. That's why you're peeking. Is you're talking normally, but you have your fucking headphone mic right here, and you're doing your like I'm talking about thing that like
better.
There you fucking go. There,
freaking online university is messing up my mic settings.
There you go.
Sure.
Sure it is.
I was just like, that is.
Yeah, it's the switch on those two. I don't know what the hell happened there.
So
Right,
it's
so do you
90.
Is 796 or 95?
What the fuck happened here? Like, I wrote it down. Basically, okay, so it's 94 is 90. 94 is 95.
Okay.
95 is 96. And 96 is 94.
Letterboxd did
Okay,
that
I
to
got
me
you. I see
too
what you're
when
doing.
I
Okay,
first
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
No,
happened there.
he put it in the Google Doc.
Yeah, I fucked up on the Google Doc. That's why.
Okay,
It's okay.
I got you.
Make sure you look over it for future episodes so that we know the correct one.
Hatchet is going to be better than 7.
Okay, so yeah, your final list that's going to show up on at the end of the episode is going to be incorrect. I can't change it at this point, but I will fix it for the top 100 graphic.
Okay, so give us your 96.
Wait, before we start, do you want me to just do it in the order that's on the Google Doc? Because it's not like it's a big change. I'm talking about fucking all of them basically at this point.
Well, I fixed it to the one that you have it as, like the one that you want it to be. I just fixed it, so you just talk in the order that you have it.
Wait.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Wait. Was he saying 97 or 96?
96.
He said 97. He said the War of the Worlds 97.
So what we should do is we should just start over as in going into 96, so it's a cleaner edit.
Cool.
All right, Mike, what's your 96?
Okay, 96, I have 7.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for moving.
Oh, that's for nothing.
95.
95, I have Contact.
Okay.
With Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. This is a movie that made me fall in love with space and aliens and all that jazz. You know, I love the fact that, and my favorite part of this movie is not even any of the main actors. It's Jake Busey. Jake Busey is incredible in this movie. Busey gives one stare that looks like he's going to fucking tear your soul out of your asshole and show it to you. And it's amazing. I will watch that performance every day of my life. It's great. You know, basically is Jodie Foster. She gets a message from aliens that they want her to build, or they want Earth, mind you, to build a contraption. Half the people do not believe it, other half do. When they start to believe it, then they don't want her. The person that bet her life on finding these aliens, they don't want her to go up. Fuck it. They want somebody that, you know, they want a religious figure to go up because she's not going to ask the right questions that they want to ask these aliens. But then shit happens, things explode, and she gets to go anyways. It's an amazing movie. It's a great fucking movie. My number
Okay.
95.
Yeah, I haven't seen Contact. That's like I think like the '90s and I think the '90s was really good at like space travel or something. I mean, it was like, and they made a lot of these. It honestly looked like I forgot Zemeckis did this, so I want to check it out. And it's highly rated. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes to see somebody stare that wants to rip their soul out through their ass and show it to them. So I don't know if I want to see that, but I kind of want to see the stare. I want to see what stare you're talking about. Anybody else on Contact? I'm pretty sure Nazario's seen it, but has Barr and Cam seen it?
No.
I've been meaning to.
Well, that's classic Barr. Instead of just saying no, it's on his list. It's probably the Full Metal list. Anyways, what?
Contact is a great film. Zemeckis did a great film in the middle of the 90s that no one saw because people didn't like the ending. Let's just say David Morse in the beach. Why? Because people are morons. You have to think beyond what did they expected? They expected to see aliens in an alien planet and E.T. saying hi. No. Think a little bit. It has more feeling. And the twist that comes when she comes back and she tries to tell people, it's brilliant. It's great science fiction. And yeah, you're right. Jake Busey with his Jesus Christ thing. Creepy ass there. Tom Skerritt, man. Done. Great movie. Go watch it.
All right. And what is your 94, Mike?
94, I have Hatchet. Now, this basically invigorated the slasher genre after the Screams came out, and it was kind of slowing down. This one came out. Adam Green, he's in love with 80s slashers. He brought back the greatest 80s slasher guy in the world, guy who played Jason for 4 movies, sorry. Thank you. Yes. Kane Hodder. And Kane Hodder not only plays the slasher Victor Crowley, but he also plays his father because Adam Green wanted to show that this dude not only can fuck people up, but he can actually make you smile and make you cry. He doesn't do that either to me, but I just love seeing him rip people's heads off because it's fucking amazing. And the kills in this movie are incredible. They're inventive. Blood is shooting out where they shouldn't be shooting out. Shitload of blood is coming out of humans that should not even be in there. It's a great fucking story that takes place in a swamp. If you haven't seen this, during Mardi Gras, mind you, if you have not seen this movie, if you love slashers, if you love 80s slashers, it's campy as shit, please go watch it. Great jokes. It also has Candyman himself, Tony Todd, and Robert Englund in a very small role, but a very funny role as well. And it has a dude that drinks his own piss. It's a great fucking movie. Watch it.
Okay. You're really good at selling movies. This one you didn't sell me at all. Yeah, too much horror for me, I'm thinking. So, sure. When you said it, I was just like, I think I've heard that. And then didn't see this one at all. Yeah, but it seems like a Mike Hanley movie, I'll be honest with you. So that's fair. Anybody else besides Nazario seen Hatchet?
Never even heard of it until recently.
That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Nazario.
Everybody
Why
should
no
just go watch Hatchet, Hatchet 2, Hatchet 3, and Victor Crowley. Please do yourself a favor and just go do that. I'm not gonna say anything else. You should just watch the movie. It's great.
Fair. Okay. We're to Cam. What is your 97?
My number 97 is Honeyboy. Yeah, I figured I'd be the only one who has this. This is a movie that's just very much tailor-made to be a movie that I like. Shia LaBeouf is one of my favorite actors, which I know is a really weird sentence to say, but it's true. And a movie written by Shia LaBeouf, where Shia LaBeouf plays his own father, mentoring Lucas Hedges and Noah Jupe, both playing Shia LaBeouf, is a very Cameron Holtzman movie. It's really good. The screenplay has so much like emotion in it, and I think it's because it was like written by the person it's about when they were in such a difficult place, because Shia LaBeouf wrote it while he was in rehab as like a therapeutic process. I think it's directed really well. Shia LaBeouf gives an incredible performance that personally I think should have been nominated for an Oscar last year. Noah Jupe and Lucas Hedges both do great jobs as like the different versions of different ages of the character who is supposed to be Shia LaBeouf. It's just a really heartwarming film where you see like the effects of a father-son relationship and how much it can help or harm a person. And then it's through the eyes of this notable figure who has had this very public troubled presence. And I think it's fantastic.
I haven't seen Honeyboy. It was on my list. I'm trying to go through older movies right now before I start watching stuff that just came out. So I've heard good things about it. I haven't heard great things about it. But I think you described this as a Cameron Holtzman movie. So that once I watch it, I'll let you know for sure if I agree with that. People had some kind of reaction to it. I think because maybe it's just so new or something. But has everybody on the panel seen Honeyboy? Do you agree that it should be on the list, or should it too new to be on the list?
So is this a movie about how he's an actual cannibal? No one knows that reference. Got it.
No, cool. I know the reference, Barr.
But this is one I've been... it's one I missed. And I really wanted to watch it. I really did. Because I thought it looked
on its list.
Somebody told me that there was a Shia LaBeouf movie where he was playing his own dad and about his own life written by himself. I didn't want to watch it, so I didn't.
I mean, that's fair.
Hey, it's a great fucking movie. I think it's my favorite Shia LaBeouf performance that he's ever done. He is fucking amazing in it.
Better than Sam Witwicky? Oh, we'll get to that later. Okay.
What? I can't tell if that's a joke.
I don't
actually
know if it's on anybody's list, but I really hope.
No, please.
That's not a joke.
All right. What is your 96?
My 96 is Dog Day Afternoon. Wow. I kept assuming that this was going to get yikes because for some reason in my brain I kept thinking Kirk was on this list and I don't know why.
He's not. He's on the one in summer.
Yeah, I was like, Kirk's doing the top 100, so I'll say this at 96 and Kirk will get mad at me. Despite the fact that I at least have it. He's going to be mad at me when he sees this still. But no, I think it's a really great self-contained story. Al Pacino is incredible in this movie. John Cazale, who only did 5 movies and all were nominated for Best Picture, is absolutely fantastic in it. It's just this really nice, simple story that's based on true events. It holds tension really well, and you see this guy who's kind of doing just the wrong thing this entire time, where he's holding people hostage and he's robbing this bank, but so quickly you're able to sympathize with him because you see he has very legitimate reasons for wanting to do this. He's being very nice to all of these people. It makes a really well-balanced character who is able to be both a good guy and a bad guy at the same time, and I think that's really, really well done.
So, hopefully, by the time that this comes out, I have seen this movie. This is one that has slipped through the cracks that I want to see. It's actually, peek behind the curtain, my next movie today that I'm watching. So
then you will have seen it by then.
I will have seen it. Well, things could happen. But as a a person that loves crime movies, this is one that has always slipped by me for so long, and I'm happy to finally take care of it. But I don't think Kirk's going to be mad at you for having it at 96. I think he's going to be more upset that 3 other people did.
See, I don't know, though, because Kirk seems to just not like me for having opinions about anything.
I mean, that's valid, but that's Kirk. He'll show up in the comment section at some point. Okay, you guys didn't have Dog Day. Why not? Is it not worth my time?
I haven't seen it, actually. Yeah, and this is one that I actually do want to see. But he made it kind of sound like John Q, and now I want to see it less.
It's not John Q. Although John Q's good. So you know
John Q is fantastic, sir.
Yikes.
I had to watch John Q for high school.
Okay, so I have seen this movie. It is a movie that I feel I need to see one more time, though. Because there is a lot to decompact in this movie. But you're right. The John Cazale and Al Pacino give incredible performances. The way you're able to sympathize with them, like through I think the one guy has asthma. And he lets him out of the bank because he didn't have his inhaler on him. And Chris Sarandon in this movie, so good. That one speech he gives in the barbershop is so good. It is one more that I want to see one more time, but I feel like as soon as I do, it would probably make my list as well. I think this is a good pick.
If Prince Humperdinck is in it, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
I think it's a good fucking movie. You know, I have very mixed feelings on Al Pacino. I don't really care for a lot of his movies, but he does pretty good fucking job in this movie. I think movies have done it better for the bank robbery sequences and stuff like that. I think other movies have done it better, but I still enjoy it.
Decompact is one of the most confusing word choices I've ever heard, Barr. I think you meant unpacked. But that's just me. That's
or
all
expand.
I didn't hear anything else. That's all I've been hearing. I'm like, what the hell did you just say? This is going to be a long 100 series for me and Barr. Yeah, I'm with Mike, though. I'm very mixed on Al Pacino. I agree with that. I either like him a lot or can't despise the man for everything that he is. Like, he can literally make a movie go incredible or flaming pile of dog shit. So
Zarya's got a point though. Dunkachino.
What's his name?
Dunkachino.
Isn't he the best part of that? I don't know.
Yeah, it makes the movie perfect.
Cool.
What does that even mean?
True. All right, what's your 95?
My number 95, I'm prepping to hear the word yikes, is Beauty and the Beast, the 1991 version, because I'm not crazy.
Yikes!
Yeah. Literally on the list I sent to Cody, it says Beauty and the Beast 1991. I'm not a lunatic. Because there are some people in this community who like the other one. My number 94 is The Adventures of Tintin. I see a giddy smile on Mike's face, and I'm happy. Yeah, this movie is awesome. The animation style of it is... It's weird, because like I hate the Polar Express, and a big part of that is because the animation style of that movie creeps me out. And then this is like what that animation style should be, where it's realistic, but not in a way where it's like Uncanny Valley, objectively terrifying. It's just really interesting to watch. Despite it being an animated movie, it's incredibly well directed by Mr. Steven Spielberg. Hello, Blockbuster Video. Like the scene where they have a full city like sinking into the ocean is so cool. Jamie Bell is great as Tintin. Andy Serkis is fantastic as Captain Haddock. The script is written by Edgar Wright, so you know I'm gonna love it. It's just a really fun time. It's got a great mystery that like weaves throughout. It's got really cool action set pieces. The dialogue is really, really good, and like it's visually stunning to look at. Tintin.
This is Hugo, right? For some reason, my entire life that I've always gotten these two confused in my head. I've never seen Tintin. I've seen Hugo. But in hindsight, I've seen both. That's what I've believed. I've always confused these two movies. I'm not the only one in this community that does it. I know there's somebody else. But man, I've been needing to see Tintin for a while. But when you think about it, I always think that I've seen it. So every time I just skip over it. So
it's so different from Hugo.
I know, and that's the problem with it. It's 100% different. I know that it's 100% different. But like, I think it's the poster or something like the
Hugo's not even animated.
I know. Believe me, I know it doesn't make any sense. I'm not defending my actions. I'm just saying there's either a poster or something that has like a similar color scheme that it just makes me think it's that movie. And
they
I know
do
one's
have very similar color schemes.
But most posters have very similar color schemes.
go depack something else. My thing is, so yeah, I've been meaning to see it. I have not seen this one. Because one's Scorsese and the other is Spielberg. Is that correct, Hugo and Tintin?
Yeah.
Thinking Tintin? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So one day I'll watch it, or one day I'll just continue to watch Hugo. Okay. Everybody else, I'm going to Mike first. Why is this not on your list? I thought every one of Spielberg's films are at least going to take your top 100 spots.
It's not every Spielberg, but this almost made my top 100 because, as everyone knows, I don't really care for a lot of animated stuff, but I will go to fucking hell with this movie. It's a great fucking movie. It's Indiana Jones in animated form. I love the hell out of it. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, great. Fart on fire, awesome. Everything is fucking amazing in it. I love the hell out of this movie.
Yeah.
I love it too. Honestly, as soon as he brought it up, I thought about it, and I may have forgotten about it when I was making the list, but it's a great freaking movie. I'm still heartbroken because as I was watching it and appreciating how good it was, I was like, God damn it, nobody's gonna come see this. And it's gonna get lost, and we're never gonna get the Peter Jackson sequel we were supposed to be getting, because that was the original plan. He was gonna make the sequel, and then they were gonna co-direct the third one, and it was gonna be beautiful. But it's not, because nobody went to watch the movie. By the way, if you can watch the original cartoon that ran on HBO in the 90s. It's really, really good too.
Very true.
I'm disappointed in myself for not having seen this one yet, because I love the actual comics that it's based on. Hey Cody, would you mind putting this on my list for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna make. Cody, can you make a graphic of Barr's lists, the movies that he wants to watch? Because I think he loses it after he watches every time he's on the show. I'm gonna watch that. Nope. Okay. Again, at least I've seen Hugo. Okay. We're going Nazario. What's your 97?
97. I'm going with a foreign movie from Spain. It's called Tesis, which means thesis, from 1996, directed by Alejandro Amenábar. I think his most famous work in America is The Others, if you have seen that. It's a great film. Nobody watched it? No? Okay. It's basically a good version of 8mm. It's a film student that accidentally discovers a snuff film in the high school VHS tape library. Yes, VHS is 1996. And then she kind of gets so intrigued by it that she starts digging around for more information on it. And she kind of discovers this whole secret web thing where people were actually killing people and selling the films to people who wanted to watch snuff films. It has a great performance by Eduardo Noriega, which might come up later in my list again because he's a great actor. And also Fele Martinez, which plays Chema, which is the film geek of the movie. It's a movie that just can't work in this frame of mind, in this frame of time, because one of the big keys of the movie is that they used the type of video camera that could digitally zoom, and there were only 3 models done by that age. If they do that movie today, nobody solves the crime. Nobody solves anything. But it's a great movie, and everybody should look for it.
Yeah, I'm going to save time. I haven't seen this. It sounds interesting, but I haven't seen it. Everybody else, you want me to add this to your list, Barr?
No, actually. I'm glad you like it.
I have to ask you, does it have
it.
Joaquin Phoenix working in a porno shop? Just like 8mm.
I don't think Nazario heard the question.
I side with Barr. Don't add this to my list.
Okay. You don't
Not
know
a Cameron movie.
It's
Not
a
a
great
Barr movie.
Not a fan of snuff films? Okay, fair. All right.
Surprisingly,
96?
no, I'm not.
96. My 96, we're going back to the good stuff with the child's movies from the 90s. And this one is all about baseball. And who doesn't love baseball? The Sandlot. It's the story of a kid who didn't know anything about sport, and because he didn't have a dad, and his mom just married Dennis Leary, which is kind of an asshole. So he becomes friends with a bunch of kids from the town, and they love baseball. They're really into it. Like, that's their passion. That's their religion. And he slowly learns what it means. It has a great appearance by James Earl Jones as a blind man that lives behind the kid's play. And the Beast is legendary. Also, Wendy Peppercorn is still hot.
All right. Again, make your options real quick on these. Moving forward, we're running a little over on time. But Sandlot, fantastic. No problems with Sandlot. It's a childhood movie. It has baseball. Basically, that's my life in a nutshell. I think it's great. It has. It used to scare the crap out of me. I wish I could go back to that first time of trying to figure out what the Beast was, because that feeling is like as a kid was first thing of anxiety right there. Everybody else on Sandlot, Barr clenched his chest but said nah to his list because he decided to put Yankee Doodle Dandy.
I knew you were going to say that. I fucking knew it. I love the Sandlot. I don't care what one Kirk has to say about this movie. This movie holds up so well. Like the performances from these kids, like these kids act like genuine kids. They don't act like adults had written dialogue for them. They're acting like kids. And I don't think a movie has ever used the song Tequila better than this movie. Like, that scene is one of my favorite scenes in movie history. I do love this movie. It just doesn't make my list. It probably would be in like my 120 though.
If Rodriguez did a dance around third base, maybe.
Maybe.
Mike, Cam.
It's a great fucking movie.
Fair.
I know I have seen this movie, but I do not remember having seen this movie. I am sorry.
Well, that's
Benny the Jet disapproves.
Yeah, Benny the Jet does.
Cool,
95.
good for him.
95, it's the first time that Kevin Smith is coming up in my list, but it's not the last. And it's 1999's Dogma. This is a great movie. And if you grew up a Catholic boy like me, it's even better because he digs so much deep into Catholic lore and makes fun of all the little plot holes that religion actually has. That is brilliant. And that is why it stuck with me. Because I like the movies that kind of see religion from a different point of view. And I have another couple in the list that may approach that similarly. But beyond that, it's just really, really funny. Hey, and Jay and Silent Bob. Snoogans.
I think most people know this. Kevin Smith, not my director, not my taste, do not like him. I understand there's a huge following behind him, but he can stay where he got drafted in the Throwdown and all that stuff too. I don't care. I don't think I've seen all this. I've seen most of his films one time, and I don't ever really want to go back to any of them. I understand if they relate to you and you like them, cool, but they're not my cup of tea at all. And I didn't grow up Catholic, so this one also didn't hit. Mike, you're a Kevin Smith fan, right?
Oh, yeah. Buddy
Why did
Christ
it not-
and no dick Alan Rickman. It's a great fucking movie.
And Barr and Cam.
Cam, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm fully with Cody. Kevin Smith, not my director in the slightest. I have not seen this movie. I mean, I've only seen 2 Kevin Smith movies, and I didn't like either of them. But one of those was Cop Out, so maybe I'm wrong. But probably not. I'm not a Kevin Smith guy.
No,
so.
no, hell no.
The movie's not a Kevin Smith movie.
He didn't write
Directed
it.
by him.
Yeah, but he didn't write it.
Well, that's not my problem.
I respect Kevin Smith more than I necessarily like Kevin Smith. However, this is my favorite Kevin Smith movie. I really enjoy this movie. It's got some great humor. Alanis Morissette is really good in this movie. And honestly, it's one of his better looking films. Like, you could tell that he had the budget that he wanted for this movie. Yeah, I enjoy this movie. I like this one.
Okay. What's your 94?
94 is going back to the kiddies. Kids movies from the 80s now. This movie has everything a child could want. A gnome king, a desert that turns people into sand, and a witch queen that takes off her head and changes it with one of the hundreds she has in a thing displaying in the back. It's awesome. It's Return to Us. Fairuza Balk is a great Dorothy. This was before she became a crazy person. When she was just a little kid who had a little hen, and she went back to the land of Oz. It's technically a sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it's actually more faithful to the Oz books than The Wizard of Oz was. It's scary, it's creepy, it tells a nice story, and I love Pumpkinhead. It's a great film. If kids like it, yes, I shown it to my kid and he loves it. So you can do it too.
Oof. Oof. I also believe that about the first one, so I'll leave that where it sits. Oof. Let your kids watch other things. We've improved. Let us show them that we've improved. You guys on Return to Oz.
First of all, I want to talk about how Nazario turned into Stefan from Saturday Night Live. This movie's got everything. It's got a headless queen. It's got a chicken named Belinda. It's got a TikTok man. But I haven't seen this movie. I've seen the trailer, but haven't seen it.
He knew so many things, though.
I know. I've researched it, but I've just never seen it.
If I wanted to watch a different version of The Wizard of Oz, I'd watch Wicked. And if I wanted to watch the regular version of Wizard of Oz, I'd still watch Wicked.
That's valid. Mike.
It's a good fucking movie.
That's 3 stars. I'm just going to let you know that's 3 stars.
That's 4 stars.
Oh, that's 4. Shit.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I believe 3 stars is just...
It's a movie.
It is...
3 is,
There's no
it's a movie.
adjective, just it's a movie.
It's an okay movie. I don't know. Okay. Maybe it's changed by the time we release this. Okay, so we're on the thing. Again, we're talking a little long on the ones that are our bottom half, so let's try to quick these through. So we're going to start at 93s. Barr, what's your 93?
My number 93 is Friday. Okay, cool. I saw this for the first time a few months ago, and I really enjoyed how simple it is. It's just like a really... I love slice of life movies that don't try to overcomplicate things, and it's just like, this is what's happening. And this is one of the better ones, because Ice Cube did a great job writing this script. It's simple, but you still have relatable, fun characters that you want to see how their day is going. And it's just one simple Friday. I think that it's got a great antagonist. It's got some great memorable characters. And everyone knows some of these lines. Bye, Felicia. And when the two of them just go, damn! I just really enjoy this movie. It's one that I put on, like, if it's a rainy day and I just want to chill out and relax.
The best part of Friday is John Witherspoon. I will always stand by that. I like Next Friday. I like After Friday. I like these kind of movies. These make me laugh throughout. Every time I come to the kitchen, you're always eating. Well, I like pig's feet. I like hog's jaw. You're always eating.
Why are we talking in the bathroom?
He pours cereal. He's only got water. Eat it with water. That's gross. Well, sorry. The overall, I agree. I think the story just, again, slice of life, just a normal day, and how they go. The characters are so like relatable, like Chris Tucker and Ice Cube, like, you know, Smokey getting fired from his job on his day off. Like, it's just like the little stitch. So yeah, I think Friday's a fantastic movie. I'd probably have it in this range too. Everybody, quick on Friday. Why did it not make your list?
I haven't seen it.
Shocked.
I thought it was funny, but I've seen funnier.
It's no Return to Oz. Mike, what star rating?
Hang on.
Brooks like.
He's over here taking a shit. I love it. It's a great fucking movie.
So good. Okay, what is Mike? Whenever you could breathe, I need your 93.
God damn. 93 is considered one of the scariest and greatest horror movies of all time, The Exorcist. Nobody has it. Good job. So this movie
it also means you fucked up. But all right.
If you haven't seen this movie, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's got people taking pisses on floor. It's got people jumping out of windows. It's got somebody stabbing herself in unmentionables. It's got your mother sucks cocks in hell. How do you not love this movie? Okay, this movie's amazing. The greatest possession movie ever. I don't think it'll ever be topped. It's a great fucking movie.
I just love Mike. Like, if you don't like it's got people pissing and defecating on you. Like, woofa.
He's not wrong.
No, I know. This movie is okay. This movie got a very bad rap for me, for the simple fact that my dad referred to this as the scariest movie he has ever seen in his life. Which I hate when people do that. So when I tell people to watch The Exorcist, I give them nothing. Because I think I would have liked it more. I sat through the thing and I said, when am I supposed to be scared? Because I'm not terrified by any means. Which was a bad setup for me. So it's never been one of those movies I go back to. But if you just watch it, if you haven't seen it, just go in with a complete blank slate. Don't think about anything you're expecting, because the movie will, I think, grab you better if you have no expectations for it. But this is a movie that can be overhyped really bad and can ruin expectations for it. Exorcist. Cam, why don't you like people pissing on the floor?
I haven't seen the movie. This is, again, not a Cameron movie in the slightest.
No. Barr?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Cody. As where this movie was so hyped up as one of the scariest movies of all time. People fleeing from the theaters as they're seeing it. And I watched it and I was like, I'm not really scared. However, I do feel it is a very, very interesting character study of Jason Miller's character, Father Damien, was it? Yeah, Father Damien. Yeah. I personally recommend, if you go into this movie, you see it as a character study for his character. But I do really like the movie. It's just that I'm kind of in the same boat as it got really overhyped for me.
Similar story here. My dad told me that he took my mother to watch this as a date when they were dating, and that she was so scared that she didn't want him to leave after, so he stayed over the night. But he saw that as a plus thing to do, like take a girl to watch The Exorcist, man, But yeah, the movie's great. The movie's great. Just that lets you know about it from before. It works even better when you just experience it. Linda,
all right. Cam, what's your 93?
My number 93 is A League of Their Own.
Yikes.
I knew it.
All right, good job. Lothario, 93.
My 93 is Wolfgang Riederman's The Sword in the Stone from Disney. It's one of my top 10 Disney animated movies of all time. So being 93, it means that I have a bunch of other things on top of it. It's my favorite version of the King Arthur story. I love Merlin and Archimedes and the relationship with Ward, who turns out to be King Arthur. It's a very segmented movie. It's done like a series of short stories, but they all link together, and it's really charming. It's one of the best things that Disney did in the 60s, maybe even the 70s. It's a great film. Everybody should watch it.
As a non-trivia manager, this movie is good. I like this movie a lot. As a manager, I hate this movie. I despise this movie. It cost me a championship this year. And that's all I'll say about that. And a germ and a virus are totally different. I will stand by that, especially when it comes to the context of the movie. Yeah, this movie has actually got a really... I think the final scene in this movie is one of... in my top 20 scenes in Disney, because the battle, the witch battle, I think it's so entertaining, them going back and forth. I think it's so good and so underrated. And for the animation back in the time to look as good as it still does, well done. Like Toy Story, like now looks terrible with the animation for what they used. I still think this one looks really good. So, well done. I think the choice is good. I don't know top 10 Disney. That's a little yikes, but you also hate The Lion King, so we'll talk about that probably never on this. Anybody else on Sword in the Stone?
I love The Sword in the Stone. When it comes to my personal top 10 Disney, this makes it my number 11, but I really I really do like this movie a whole lot. As you guys said, the animation is beautiful. The dueling magic scene is incredible. And it's got some really memorable songs. Higgins is one of the more underappreciated Disney songs. I really like this movie a whole lot.
It's got swords, it's got stones. What more could you want?
That's the tagline.
What do you want from me?
It's a good fucking movie.
Okay. We are at Kim. No, you already did yours. Okay, Barr.
My number 92. I think it's a great fucking comedy. It's Super Troopers. Cool. No one else. This is one of my most quotable movies that I've ever seen. Everyone knows the whole shenanigans scene. Hey Farva, what's the name of that restaurant with the goofy pictures and the mozzarella sticks? Oh, you mean shenanigans? Oh! Everyone knows the meow scene. That you stop that rat meow. And honestly, these characters are they're so fun because you can tell that the Broken Lizards troupe are having such a blast making this movie that the energy and the fun that they're having is just incredibly infectious. Brian Cox even decided that he would take a pay cut working on the second one because of how much fun he had working on the first one. It's such an infectious movie that it's just a whole lot of fun, and I highly recommend it because you will be quoting this as soon as you finish watching it.
I love the Broken Lizard guys. I just wish that they would have gone in a different direction later on. Like, the earlier stuff I love, later stuff.
Mike, I really like Cody talk first. You're supposed to let Cody talk first.
Oh, it's not a big deal. This movie's shit. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You can take your leader. You can take your liter of cola and shove it up your ass. I'm sorry. I don't find these funny.
You know the movie, though.
Yeah, correct. I also know Wolf Cop. Doesn't mean I like it or ever want to see it again in my life. I mean, I'm fine with humor, and I'm fine. Like these guys, I don't understand. Like they're my high school friends thought it was the greatest thing ever to drive through like a thing and say, "Oh, you got a liter of cola." I'm like, I just want to punch people. I don't find it funny. They also did Beer Fest. I think that's right. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like, they have potential. They just took all the B-Writ scripts from Will Ferrell, decided to do it. I mean, yeah,
no, that's insulting.
No, it's not.
They're
Will
better than
Ferrell's
most
funny.
Will Ferrell comedies today.
No. This is the one that goes in the clearance bin at Blockbuster when they're done. Like this one's straight clearance, so not great. Sorry.
What do you think?
I actually like Super Troopers, the first one. I haven't gotten around to seeing the sequel, but if you're gonna put a Broken Lizard movie, I would have put Club Dread instead. That's just taste, I guess.
That's probably my third favorite of the Broken Lizards.
Ew.
I haven't seen it.
Fair.
What do you want from me, people?
To watch movies.
I do. Just not this one or anything on your list.
Okay. Mike, 92.
My number 92 is another TC movie, Collateral. my favorite Tom Cruise performance. Him as a villain is so incredible. I love his performance. I love just the way that Michael Mann shows L.A. because most movies shows L.A. as it actually is. A pretty much shit city that's covered in dump. It just sucks. But Collateral shows it as beautiful at night, like just beautiful landscapes. And then you get there and you go, what the fuck was I watching that for? Look at this fucking place. But Tom Cruise, the fact that he kills who he has to kill, but he's a decent guy. He is a decent guy unless you piss him off. It shows what Jamie Foxx and his mother scene in the hospital. When they walk in, he tells them, aren't you going to buy your mom some flowers? He goes, no, because she's not going to like the flowers. He goes, do it. It's your fucking mother, buy the goddamn flowers. So he buys the flowers, and then she ends up, when she finds out that it's Jamie Foxx, she thinks who bought them. She complains to him. When she finds out Tom Cruise bought it, she goes, oh, they're really pretty. And Tom Cruise gives the greatest expression ever, just going, what the fuck is going on? I love the club scene, which a lot of people always bring up as a great scene in that movie. It's an amazing scene. The way he handles that gun is impressive. Shows more in Mission Impossible movies what he can do stunt-wise, but this movie is just fantastic. This is one movie with Jamie Foxx I can actually really stand and love for it. It's a great fucking movie.
Collateral is genius. Collateral is one of my favorite Tom Cruise performances. Probably like him in Tropic Thunder more, but he has less time. But this is the most different Tom Cruise ever has been in a movie. Yeah. Literally, I could put him up there as one of the most evil people in a movie. I think he's great. I think he's fantastic. I just purchased this movie, so I'm so excited to actually watch it again. So yeah, hands down, I think it's a great choice. Why no Collateral for you guys? Don't like Tom Cruise? Well, that makes you incorrect.
I actually really like this film. I think it's my favorite of the Transporter series. But it's not good enough to make the top 100.
Return to Oz. Witches.
We're going to be hearing this for 10 weeks, folks.
Witches. Like, the list goes on and on, but Collateral, please have some respect. It doesn't hold a candle to that, because it's a well-made movie.
I actually
have a pumpkin head.
do have Michael Mann in my list, so.
Doesn't have a pumpkin head. Oh, darn. If Tom Cruise was wearing a pumpkin head, and a witch showed up and said, hey, fucking terrify these children, we might have a shot. Cam, have you seen it?
I have. I think Tom Cruise is really great in this movie. I've only seen it once, and I don't remember it super well, but I remember him being terrifying as hell. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Koho, can you do me a favor? Add this to my list.
Cam, what's your 92?
My 92 is Nightcrawler. All right. This movie is really interesting. Jake Gyllenhaal is kind of terrifying in this movie. Like, his performance is so subtle and nuanced and just like, it's so restrained at points, and then at points he just like lets himself explode, and he's absolutely incredible in this movie. The story is paced really, really well, where like you don't really know where it's gonna go next. Like you don't know where it's going next, but like every twist and turn, you're like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Jake Gyllenhaal is going absolutely crazy and is willing to do whatever it takes to like make a name for himself in this business. The scene where he like arrives at an active crime scene and is just like, oh, I need good footage. I'm just gonna break the police lines, walk straight into this person's house, and like gets footage of this man essentially dying on the floor, and is like, I'm not gonna help you. I'm just gonna get footage of this. It's insane, and then the way that it sort of builds with his assistant is fantastic.
This movie is fine. This movie is fine. This movie has been overhyped since 2014 because Jake Gyllenhaal did not get the Oscar nomination for this performance, and the community's pissed. It's basically how I see this movie. I saw it when it came out. I said, "Oh, it's a good movie, no problems." And then the community blew up, and I said, "Whoa, what is this Nightcrawler movie? What is it, X-Men?" And I go back, I'm like, "Oh, it's the Jake." Okay, it's fine. But everybody's now ranting and raving it's so good. I think Jake Gyllenhaal's amazing, but the overall movie I think is okay. Like Jake Gyllenhaal's performance is top notch. But I honestly don't like the movie. It's nothing. I have nothing to cheer for in this movie, and I'm not okay. I don't need a movie to do that. But like this one is just a straight line of just. It's kind of like American Psycho for me a little bit. Like, I don't have anything to like. That's just chaos after chaos after chaos in this one. It like this building thing, and that's just not for me. Anybody else on Nightcrawler?
That's kind of insulting to compare to American Psycho.
Are you okay? Are you saying that's insulting to Nightcrawler or American Psycho?
To a Nightcrawler.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not. No, I didn't say. Hear what I'm saying. I said the chaos of it. I'm not saying it's the same movie or the same quality in movie. It's just it doesn't rest. It has the same thing, and it just goes in that direction.
But that's what's so great about Nightcrawler is the fact that it just doesn't rest. It doesn't let you go. It's the same reason I really love Uncut Gems is that it's just a thrill ride.
Oh,
start
now
to
that's
finish.
an insult. That's an insult to even compare this movie to Uncut Gems.
Look.
I'm surprised you've seen Uncut Gems.
It was one of the best movies of last year.
I thought it was on your list.
Shut up. So, Nightcrawler, I think, is a great movie. It's a great movie. Jake Gyllenhaal should have won the Oscar that year. The scene where he's just staring into the mirror and then he just suddenly grabs it and has that moment where he's just shaking it. It's one of the greatest acting performances I've ever seen. And the story, it's just so uncomforting. It's so uncomforting, but you see the way that the mechanism is working, and that is what makes it so interesting. I love this movie.
I like this movie. I like the story of it. I like how the twist goes later when he cannot actually get the stories that he kind of goes and makes his own stories. I don't get the hype. Jake Gyllenhaal is always great. He was great in Prisoners. He was great in Nocturnal Animals. He was great in End of Watch. I don't hear people making such a big fuss of those movies, but yeah, it's good. It's a really good movie.
The stuff between Jake Gyllenhaal and Bill Paxton is awesome. It's a great fucking movie.
I'm not going to make it with Barr on the show. All right. Who was that? That's Nazario. What's your two?
My number two is one movie by this guy that it will come up later again in the list. It's one of his Spanish language movies because I actually think that Del Toro works better in Spanish. It's El Espinazo del Diablo, known as The Devil's Backbone in English. It's a story set in the middle of Spain in the 1930s, in the middle of the Spain Civil War, about a kid whose parents got killed by were rebel soldiers, so they got killed, and he gets dropped in the middle of an orphanage, who just happens to have a giant bomb that hasn't detonated in the middle. And at the same time, the kids have a story, have a fear because there's a ghost that lurks in the corners of a kid that mysteriously disappeared. It also features Eduardo Noriega, which is, like I said, a great Spanish actor. And the story of Santi and the ghost and the bomb, which I have right here in this beautiful package, is a beautiful story. It's a beautiful fable that everybody that has not seen it should. It's one of Del Toro's top 3 movies, in my opinion.
No, haven't seen it. Sorry.
Shit,
anybody else?
I've heard great things.
Nope.
Add to this list. Okay.
There are
Add to this
movies
list.
made outside United States, guys.
Is there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, now I know that. I'll put that on my radar. All right, Barr, what's your 91?
I think I get to take a break for this last movie for this episode. It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yikes.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Can't wait till that moment. Mike, what's your 91?
91 is the 80s version of Fright Night. And yes, I know, you don't have it on your list. You fucking should. Because guess what? You want to know what it's like to have a vampire next door to you? No, you fucking don't. Because it's not a good time. Okay? It's not a fucking good time. Bad shit happens when you have a vampire living next door to you. But Chris Sarandon is fucking amazing as Jerry Danvers. And evil Charlie's best friend is so incredible. His one-liners in this movie is great. And what happens to him later on in the movie, without spoilers, is funny as hell. This is just a great fucking movie. They all know what movie they're in. It's a campy fucking movie, but it does it so great. So many great vampire moments. You got Roddy McDowall playing basically Elvira in a way as a host of a TV show that talks about horror movies, that shows horror movies, and he gets roped into having to deal with his own vampire. Does he want to? No fucking way. He wants to run. He wants to hide, just like anybody would. But fuck it. He goes in and he takes care of business. TCB, it's a great fucking movie.
So I actually saw this in the 80s collection, and I was like, what the hell's Fright Night? And then it was highly rated. Pretty much it's not considered a bad movie. I just haven't been able to see it yet. But it sounds interesting. Since I'm betting, I may be wrong, but Nazario, you've seen this movie, so tell me what you think about it.
I think it's a great fucking movie. It's one of the best horror movies from the 80s. It just, I don't know. I think my list is a little more wide in categories. I needed more space for children's scary movies, so I had to leave Fright Night out of it. I'm just gonna say it is really worth. It's really worth watching it, and the least you know about it, it works better because a lot of things get ruined because they become memes later on. Just make sure you watch the 80s one and not the Colin Farrell one. By the love of God, do not watch the Colin Farrell.
I've heard not bad things about the Colin Farrell one.
Likes it.
I haven't seen it.
Fair. I'm shocked.
There is nothing wrong with the 2011 Fright Night. It's great. David Tennant's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't seen this or the remake.
I'm literally appalled. Cam, what's your 91?
My 91 is Girl Interrupted.
Oh.
I'm seeing.
I just love Nazario's shade when he has the total shit at the bottom of his list. He's just sitting there, excuse me? And then he's sitting over here with gems at the bottom of his list.
Yeah, Girl Interrupted is a movie that just, like, really kind of hit me the first time I saw it. It's about a young woman who checks herself into, like, a mental institution after she gets diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And I think it's just, like, a really real and, like, human portrayal of mental illness. And you see a lot of these different people who are all affected by different forms of mental illness. And all of them are very, like, real, fleshed out characters. Winona Ryder is incredible in this movie. Angelina Jolie, I don't think she should have won the Oscar for this movie, but she is still very, very good in it. The story has, like, a really good progression where they're in there and they become friends, and then they end up going out, and you see sort of how not being in this safe space. Oh, bye, Mike. How not being in this safe space sort of affects people with these issues. And I think it's just, like, a really well-told, real movie, and that's what I like about it.
I have not seen Girl Interrupted.
It's directed by James Mangold, who did The Wolverine.
It's on my list. But no, it's not on my list. It's not one that I've really heard much noise about, to be honest. So I will look into it. Not guaranteed to watch it, but yeah. Barr.
Hey, Cam, do you remember the dance therapist in the movie? No? Cool. I had a college professor who was in this movie. She played the dance therapist.
I know a guy who was in Creed 2.
Really? Wow, he must suck.
He does.
But, yeah, usually if you're in that movie, you're an asshole. However, yeah, this is a solid movie. I need to be in the right mood to watch it. I'll tell you that much right now. But it's solid. It's a really good movie.
And Nazario.
It's alright. It's the worst James Mangold movie has made, and I'm counting Night and Day and Copland because Copland is actually pretty good. It's not that great. Angelina Jolie is better in Gia. Winona Ryder has been better in a lot of other things. It's a movie. It happened. It was the 90s, I guess.
Fair. Okay. And, whoa, there's a wild mic that appears. Lucky, we're almost done. So, Nazario, close us out for episode 1 of the Top 100.
I'm so glad Mike is back because I needed him to yike this. My 91 is Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn.
All right.
Cool,
so, we're done for tonight's episode. We have a lot of great choices and a lot of terrible choices. This is either going to be the greatest series of my life or the worst one. I don't know how I felt about in the summer one because that hasn't started in this universe. Whoa. He's here again.
Magic.
So, soon, while this keeps recording, I will know which one's worse. But right now, this one's pretty bad. So, check us next week while we break down 90 through 81. Should be a great time. Will Evil Dead show up next episode, or will it be 5 episodes past that? But this is Barr's Top 100 leading right now. Nah. This is Nazario, probably worse. Yeah, it's worse. It's a lot worse. Mike Hanley, he sold me on a lot of good movies and had Collateral, so I appreciated that one. And Cameron Holtzman, not bad so far. I don't see anything real issue. He just hasn't been able to talk about it much. So those movies may be too low, but we'll get there soon. So the movies are yikes so far. On Cam's list, we have My Fair Lady, Warrior, Beauty and the Beast, and League of Their Own. Evil Dead's the only thing from Nazario. Seven's the only thing from Mike. And I guess Barr also had 4. But it's all by Cam right now. So they will show up at a later time. So keep track of the movies that will be showing up later. We will see you next episode.
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount.
I'm the guy who does his job. You must be the other guy.
You got a lot of problems, don't you?
Oh, it's good to be back.
Eat shit. Eat shit. Eat shit.
Smug smile.
Definitely eat shit.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
You can't handle the truth.